Hello, and I'm so excited for the Boss Babe podcast. I am your host, Jennifer Nicoli, and the Boss Babe podcast is designed to evoke and waken up the Boss Babe inside of you. And this episode is going to be phenomenal because we have the one and only Brynn Lang, and I cannot be more excited to have her on. Coming on very soon. You want to get excited. You want to get thrilled. You want to have just this open heart to receive her message of manifesting. Me being the manifesting queen, I cannot be more excited to truly connect with her. Someone that was speaking my language when I saw her on another show, and to know that she is someone that manifested her dreams. She visualized her dreams. She went to the good book and was like, give me the good word because I need an answer. And she did it. And now she is showing the way for many of us who also inspire and aspire to enjoy the same type of results. So I'm going to be bringing her on right around 2 or 3 minutes past the hour. I want to get you guys ramped up to give her a warm welcome. She is not a one-time seven-figure earner. She's a two-time seven-figure earner. So get your notebooks out. Her time is very precious. She is a leader, and she leads one to lead some. She was able to crack her own manifesting code and create the life of her dreams. And she actually, like me, that's why I really connect with her message. She actually, like me, was able to then say, you know what? I got out of the burning house. Let me go back with some water and also help women that are still in that burning house and free them from their own self-inflicted, self-sabotaging behaviors, their own negative mindset, their own negative uh, thought patterns. You got to break these cycles that are imprisoning you. And that's what I've done. Maybe you guys have heard my story. I was raised on food stamps. I have two older sisters. I wore hand-me-downs. I didn't have one stitch of my own clothing. I never had shoes of my own. It was always my older sister. So I know that pain of going to the grocery store with food stamps, going and not having enough, living in lack and scarcity. And for me, I was like, fed up. I said, there's another way. I would study people that had inner peace and outward abundance. You see, that's the secret. Okay. If you don't know, let me just say that again. I love to study people that have inner peace and outer abundance. Hallelujah. Because I have a message for you today. I'm going to say something. I really believe that there is a demonic stronghold going on right now on people's mindsets, on people's finances, and being a queen of the marketplace. I want to tell everyone to wake up. Wake up, wake up. It is time that you wake up. This is your wake up call. I'm here to help you. Hello there, Valerie. Come on, let's get all the boss babes on. We're going to release the demonic strongholds on our finances. We are going to get so bio jolted off of this amazing biohacking supplements opportunity, our beauty, our body, our bank accounts. No more lack and scarcity. And let me tell you about this woman who you're going to meet. She is absolutely amazing. She is someone that I hold in high regard. And guess what? We haven't really talked on the phone. I just watched her videos and she jolted me. I watched her videos and she got me all excited. So, and I'm hard to get it. I mean, I'm excited all the time because that's like my default setting. But when I really get excited, it's because someone is impressing upon me their amazing strength of a leader. This woman did it. She did it by just putting the steps together, working the formula of see it in your mind, take positive action, never give up, keep your eye on the prize. Hello there, Terry. Get the word out. This podcast is going to change your life. She's also in the Modere opportunity. She's one of the speakers. She's going to be speaking on the 15th and 16th weekend, 16th and 17th, right there in Long Beach. So I could not be more excited to have her really just shake the earth underneath our feet. Let me tell you a little bit about her. She is a mother who has built not one, but two different streams of income from 2 to 3 hours a day while she was with her kids, working from home, Wi-Fi millionaire. You got a Wi-Fi, you got an office, you got an e-commerce, globally recognized giant just in it to win it. And you can do it too. She has really showed us the blueprint of what you can do when you put your mind to something. So I'm going to ask you, boss babes, right here. I'm going to ask you something. Are you ready to finally say no more playing small? You got to start with a decision. Pardon my French, but come hell or high water, hook or crook, I need you to get excited. Brynn Lang is a networking and business building genius. From motherhood to multi-millionaire status, she has been featured in Entrepreneur Magazine as the queen of balancing home and hustle and helping others do the same. Brynn is a master of efficiency, which I love. I hate when people waste my time. Master of efficiency, and she has built her empire, her 2 7-figure online businesses in only a few hours a day. She is a mom and wife that lives and breathes quality time, an international speaker who has trained tens of thousands and is on a mission to build badass mompreneurs at home and in the spotlight. So I am so excited to have her on. I'm bringing her on in 2 more minutes. I want to make sure we are all there, getting everyone populating this show. Text your fellow boss babes, text your friends that you know will benefit from watching this. Maybe they've been on the sidelines watching you get younger, flatter abs. Maybe they're watching you on the sidelines saying, you know what? I want to do what she's doing, but I don't know where to start. I want more information. They're going to get more information from someone who has done it, is doing it, and that you can also change their lives. So hello there. Hello there, Michelle. Michelle, everybody, all the boss babes, share this out in your timelines. We're going to change lives. Let your fellow friends and colleagues and associates that have been watching you that are maybe interested, let them know that Coach JNL is doing this life-changing podcast, and let them know to tell me that you sent them. Okay, because we're going to get the word out. This is going to be a life-changing podcast. 2 more minutes until I bring her on, and this is going to be something you do not want to miss right now. We are live. I want everyone to know that this is a call. You know what? I always realize this, that God revealed to me that I am a queen, and you are too. Queen of the marketplace, the global marketplace. You have a mission to impact lives, help them look and feel better, help them look at their finances and say, oh, I feel a lot better now because I actually see some money in there. Hello, and it's coming to me easily, and you're going to speak it into existence. Thank you so much. We're going to speak it into existence. We are live, and I always talked about that. I have my vision board on the other side. And this queen right now, this boss babe, she is pure, part of my French, badassery. She is going to give you some great tips and strategies and mindset hacks that are going to help you remove any mental blocks, that are going to help you to get out of your own way and help you to be the best version of yourself. And I am so excited to bring on the one and only Brynn Lang. And I am so excited to have her here as a fellow queen of manifesting. I could not be more excited to welcome her. Hello, Brynn Lang. Welcome to my podcast. I just tooted your horn like from the cyber mountaintops, and everyone is so excited to meet you. And I just want to say before I put the ball in your court, thank you for your time. I know you being a leader running 2 7-figure businesses, your time is very precious and also very important. When I saw you on these interviews and speaking with other leaders in our industry, you are speaking my manifesting language. See it, believe it, achieve it, speak it into existence. Why are you speaking about negative energy? So I want to say thank you for your time and welcome. We got a great show here. Go ahead and introduce yourself and say hello to our audience, our global audience.
Dude, you are freaking amazing. I love your energy. Like, okay, this woman right here, even when she text messages me, I can like feel it through the words. Like, she's just so amazing. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here. You are like so beautiful, so amazing. This is me on a normal basis, right? I got no makeup on. I just been using my liquid collagen a little bit, just a little bit, you know. But I am so excited to be here. Thank you so much, you guys.
I'm
OMG.
excited. I want to
Oh,
say thank you again for your time. I got full body chills. And when you get the chill meter going off and your leg hair is growing, you're like, okay, I found a unicorn. I found another queen of manifesting. I found another queen of the marketplace. I found another woman that's going to wake people up out of their stupor, out of their slumber, out of their deer in headlights. Like, what am I supposed to do? Energy and take life, pardon my French, by the cojones and command and demand what we deserve. And I know that you feel what I'm saying because we're cut from the same cosmic cloth. You know, even though this is like our really first time talking, we didn't rehearse this, but the energy is real. I always judge energy. I do the vision boards, I do the manifesting master classes. You are talking on your Instagram, which everyone go and follow and like and learn more to earn more, that we actually create what we think, what we say. So speak it into existence. And I just want to talk about your bio real quick. I absolutely love it. For those that are just now coming on, I want to brag a little bit more about you before I put the ball back in your court again. Brynn Lang is a networking and business building genius. So get your notebooks out and classes in session. From motherhood to multimillionaire status, she's been featured in Entrepreneur Magazine as the queen of balancing home and hustle and helping others do the same. Brynn is a master of efficiency, which I love because I hate wasting time, because time is money and energy. Don't waste our time. And she has earned not one, but two seven-figure online businesses that she has built from only a few hours a day. That's what I'm talking about. She is a mom and wife that lives and breathes quality time and an international speaker who has trained tens of thousands and she's on a mission. She's on a mission to build other badass mompreneurs at home and in the spotlight. So welcome. And I'm so excited to have you here and kind of give us your journey, like your Cinderella story, how it started and how you got here, if you can, in like a Reader Digest version. We'd love to know more.
yeah. By the way, I love that you said that the leg hair is growing from the chills. I told my husband last week, I'm like, I'm just not gonna shave my legs anymore because I've been giving myself the chills so often that it's just starting to curl. So I'm just gonna let it be, right?
I know,
You're so
right?
funny.
Right.
Anywho, yes, I'm super excited to be here. My name is Brynn Lang. I have been in the entrepreneurial world since 2014. But what's funny is I always said I would never be an entrepreneur. So my parents were restaurant owners and they did really well. We had all the things. We had a beautiful home. We had the cars. And I mean, we lived on 2.5 acres and a batting cage and a volleyball court. We had all the things like the ski boat. And then they opened another restaurant that didn't do so well. And they ended up having to file bankruptcy when I was a junior in high school. And so we went from like this extravagant lifestyle to living in this house with cottage cheese ceiling and brown shag carpet. And I was so embarrassed. And I'm like, nobody's allowed to come to my house because you know how we are as teenagers. And I said, I will never, ever, ever be an entrepreneur. I want something to where I can go to work, I can get paid, and I never have to worry about the rug getting pulled out from underneath me. So I went to college and I ended up in sales. And then I met my husband, who is a restaurant owner. Oh, the sarcasm. I always want to sing, isn't it ironic? The great Alanis Morissette, right? And so he is just like entrepreneurial minded. And he's like, you should be an entrepreneur. Oh my gosh. Like you'd be so great at it. I'm like, no, dude. I have no desire to do what you do. I don't want to have to keep the lights on. I don't want to have to pay the employees. Like that is not a life that I want to live. And so I was in sales. I ended up becoming a personal trainer. I loved helping people with their health and their fitness. And like, it was such a passion for me, but we had no money.
Right.
We was broke. We was real broke. And I remember my friend came into my gym and he was so excited. This huge grin on his face. He's like, Brynn Lang, I just bought socks without checking my bank account. And I was like, oh, I got to check my bank account for everything. Like literally the week before, I was standing in Target staring at a pair of shoes for my then 5-year-old and asking myself if I could make them stretch another week because I couldn't afford them. And so I jumped into the world of network marketing, which I thought was a total scam. I'm like, these people are probably going to steal all my money, but I got to do something different if I'm going to make a life change. And so I jumped in. I like to say, as you would say, excuse my French, I sucked balls.
Yes.
We all start to suck, right? You got to suck until you suck less. But I
Yeah.
caught vision. And
Yes.
so I went all in. I built to a 6-figure income within the first couple of years. 4 years in, I'm maintaining that 6-figure income, but I was miserable. I was working all the time.
Yeah.
I never had time with my family. In fact, my kid told me he thought that I didn't love him anymore
Oh.
because he said, you never pay attention to me. And so
Yeah.
I almost quit the world of network marketing. But instead, I realized I was not an employee and I could not go back to a regular job. And so I made the decision to learn how to build a profitable business for myself without sacrificing the things that matter to me most. And over that process, I built my 2 7-figure businesses within a few years. And then now I teach other women, other entrepreneurs how to do the same thing because I mean, I don't know about you, but I like cake and I want to eat it. And I
Yeah.
also want to eat pie. And I
Yeah.
also want to make money. I kind of want all
Yeah.
the things. And so I like to teach people how to have it all.
Yes, you can have it all. And that's what we have been brainwashed that you can't have it all. You got to either choose this, you either choose that, and just settle and lack and scarcity mindset. And you have got so many great tips and strategies. And for a lot of us here watching, we had the same kind of 6 feet. I don't want to get too close to the whole network marketing thing. It's just too a little bit wonky. People think it's a scam, but I really have fallen in love with it. And I've seen it in
Yeah.
such a new light because we're able to impact so many lives. And when you impact lives, you make income. So you're known as a networking and business building genius. So, I just want to tap your 10 brains here. What are some top tips that you can give us for achieving multimillionaire status while balancing the roles of, like, say, wife and mother, or maybe someone is watching and they have to do another job until they get their business up and rolling and they break through that other side. I call it the other side of social retail as a social marketer. And, the commission checks get bigger and you're able to duplicate. So explain some great tips that have helped you along the way that we can also learn from.
Yeah. So be all end all. The
Yes.
biggest issue that women have is
Yep.
we have this innate tendency to feel guilty.
That's right.
We are raised as nurturers. We are
Mm-hmm.
raised to be the ones who do everything.
Mm-hmm.
And we wear that as almost like a crown on our head. Like if I can do everything, then I'm doing what I need to do. Like I got to go to my job and I got to take care of my kids. I got to make sure my spouse is taken care of and there's food on the table and the laundry's done and all these things. And so
Yep.
we constantly are on this cycle of guilt because when we spend
Yep.
too much time focused in on our family and the things that need to be done on a daily basis,
Mm-hmm.
and we're not spending enough time building our businesses, we feel guilty. Or when we spend too
Yes.
much time building our businesses and going to work and striving and wanting these big things, and we feel guilty that we're not spending enough time for our family. And so the biggest thing that I like to help people, women specifically,
Yes.
understand is there's nothing wrong with asking for help.
Hallelujah.
And none of
Yes.
us, most of us, we don't do it. Like even
Yes.
in the small areas. I remember when my kid told me that he didn't think I loved him anymore because I never paid attention. It was one of the worst moments of my life.
Oh.
At night, I was laying in bed and I was crying and I was talking to my husband about just being done. Like, I just don't think I can do this anymore. And
Yeah.
he said, honey, can I just say something, without, they're all scared of us. He's like, without you getting mad at me. And I'm like, what? And he's like, I mean, I'd like to help more.
Oh.
I would like to actually, put our kid to bed, like
Yes.
actually do some of these things. I realized that I was trying to do everything all of the time. I was so burnt out and I wasn't getting where I wanted to go because I wasn't willing to ask for help.
Wow.
Listen up, ladies. He's not a babysitter. He's the baby daddy. Okay.
Hello.
So he's their daddy. And most of those daddies, they want to help. They want to.
Yes.
So the biggest thing that I would say is get really great at asking for help. It's called
Yes.
delegation. Ask your
Yes.
spouse, ask your mother-in-law, ask your father, think about it. If you got to take your kids to sports practices, do you think you need to go to every practice? Or do you think you might be able to carpool with some of the moms?
I love it. And you know what? You're hitting, I don't want to chime in, but you're
Yeah.
hitting the nail on the head here. And that leads me to the next question. Ask, the power of ask. I heard you in an interview talk about how you were just like in a state of like, I need a sign, I need a supernatural divine intervention, like lightning bolt from the sky. And you like said a prayer, and then you just got the good book. You would like tell me that story. You flipped the Bible open and it opened up to a certain, learning lesson that it's a universal law for the ages. And when you told me the story, I was like, I felt that it's one of my favorite verses as well. And I know everyone watching, you're gonna just get your razors ready, because we're gonna have a beard after all the chills that we're gonna have. But I want to hear that story about asking, and I would love to hear that.
Yeah. So it's such a funny story. I was a mess. I was a mess when I was in college. I was a child of sexual abuse. So my stepfather abused me the majority of my life.
Sorry to hear that.
And so by the time I was in college, I was just a miserable human. And I was living the life of basically letting somebody else write my story for me.
Wow.
That had become my identity. I was, an abuse survivor, and I let it be an excuse for so many areas that I was in my life. And so I found myself in a really like deep, dark place one night, and I was sitting in my room and I had the Bible open in my lap. And at that point in my life, I wasn't very spiritual, but something was calling me to invite a spiritual awakening in.
Wow, I got full
So,
chills.
yeah. So I never had opened this Bible. It was a gift from my mother, and she gifted it to me when I went off to college. And so I'm sitting in my bed, and I just had this moment where I'm like, God, I know I don't know you. I know I don't talk to you, but I feel like you have something to say to me. And so I'm just going to trust that. I have this Bible I've never opened, but I'm going to open it. And I just want you to lead me where I'm supposed to go. And I want you to give me I want you to give me something for my life, because I was so broken. I was so just like in this space of not knowing where I was supposed to go. And so I just I did the whole thing where just opened it up and just with my finger, and I landed on Matthew 7:7-8. And it has been the Bible verse for my life. And I want you guys to hear this, because God created us in his image. I know a lot of people, they think, oh, well, we look like God, right? Like that's their thought of us being created in his image. What I believe he means by that is God is our creator. He is the creator. He created us to be creators. And so when I read this verse, I realized for the first time in my life that God gave me the power to write my own story.
Yes.
And so the verse says, ask and you shall receive, seek and you shall find, knock and the door will be open. For everyone who asks receives, everyone who seeks finds, and for the one who knocks, the door will be open. And so I have lived my life from that moment in that way. And it was hugely transformational for me.
Wow. I love that, because ask it not, receive it not. And we're not asking enough because we don't feel like we're worthy.
Yes.
So that's a beautiful story. Thank you for sharing that. And listen, I'm going to ask you then, leading to this next question, what do you believe is the number one self-sabotaging obstacle that women in social retail, in network marketing, and just in life in general, and it kind of stops them from their own success path, and they just really just leave a lot of opportunity on the table? They are just shortchanging themselves. What self-sabotaging behaviors have you seen as a coach that women do all the time, and we need to wake them up from it?
Yeah, I mean, essentially, I want you guys to understand that your life, your business, your relationships, everything about where you are right now is a direct reflection of your past thoughts, feelings, and beliefs. So it's this that is the biggest struggle for people. because what we're doing and what I realized in that moment of my life was I was living in the past. I was living in the circumstances that somebody else gave me and allowed them to create my future instead of choosing to create my own. And so that I feel is the biggest issue for most people is they are living in their past and they're living in their circumstances. And so I have a real specific framework that I like to use with people to help them have the awareness and help them choose to change their thoughts and their feelings so that they have a different result in the future.
Wow. I love that. You have to shift the mindset because everything starts in the mind. And I know I'm preaching to the choir with you and using that mindset and being positive and that, you saw your family be very wealthy and then overnight it just kind of diminished and now you were able to with your husband get back to the entrepreneurial swing of things. Taking that mindset, how has that helped you to build your social retail company and be a great leader, to get people to take action? And maybe you feel like you're Miss Go Get It and you're just Miss, rah, rah, rah with your pom-poms and you're just cheering everybody on, but you're feeling like it's kind of falling on deaf ears, or some people are getting it and they're getting excited. As a leader, what tips can you offer us to get your team? I'm a coach, so I'm like, huddle up. Let's go and get this, slam dunk. Let's just get that score. Let's win, win, win. I want everyone to win. And there's some people that are like way off the field and they're not close in on the action. How can you really build synergy? How can you as a leader get people to take action and cheer each other on as we are growing? And I know that's a success formula that's very hard to tap into, but any tips you can give on that as a leader and leadership skills as well?
Yeah, well, like I said, I like to teach in frameworks because I think that with frameworks, it helps people know exactly, they can always go back to it and they can always use it over and over again. And so the team starts with the individual, right?
Yes.
And so what we need to be doing if we want to become great leaders, right? If we want to be able to impact other people, is to be constantly working on ourselves. And so this is what I not only do for myself, but I teach every single person I come into contact with, because at the end of the day, the more we can work on ourselves, the more people we're going to impact and help them work on themselves.
Yes.
Humans we're going to create around us, the stronger the team. And so this is a framework that probably a lot of you have heard before, especially if you've ever been in any sort of therapy. You may have just heard it in a little bit of a different way, but everything starts with our circumstances, right? Well, like I said, most people are living in their past, they're living in their circumstances. And so this is something I walk every single person through. Let's take, for example, the economy right now, right? It's affecting so many people. Like it's not in a good place. Like that's just 100. Like everybody, it's just the economy's not in a great place. So what happens in this circumstance is people are sitting in that. They're feeling terrible feelings. They're thinking terrible thoughts. They're like, oh my gosh, how am I going to survive through this? How am I going to all these things? And so they're so focused in on this circumstance.
They're bringing that energy in.
Yes. And so if you think about this framework, I want you guys to write this down. Your circumstances lead to thoughts.
Hello.
Your thoughts create your feelings.
Yep.
Your feelings dictate your actions.
Yep.
And your actions are what creates a result or lack thereof.
Yes.
So going back to the economy situation, let me ask you this. Can you control what's going on in our economy? No. And then I want you to even think a little bit further than that. In most of the circumstances in your life, whether it's sick parents that you have to take care of, or you lose a job, there's a layoff in your job, whatever the circumstances that's holding you down, I want you to think about it. The majority of those circumstances we can't control, right? Because the only things that we can control are us, our thoughts, feelings, and actions, and how we react to other people. So if you can go, okay, I can't control the economy, but what I can control is my thoughts about it. So I can either look at it as a negative thing and I could say, oh, this is terrible. I can't pay my bills. Like it's never going to get better.
The whiners, the complainers. Yes.
Instead, you can look at it. You can say, okay, in this economy, there's probably a lot of opportunity.
Yes, I love that.
In
Flip it,
network
flip the
marketing.
mindset.
In the
Yeah.
network marketing field, right? More people than ever need to make money. So instead of focusing on your lack of money, now you can switch your thoughts to, I can go help people make more money because more people now need it more than ever. So then what happens is as those thoughts change, our feelings change. Whereas before our feelings were negative. They were just like sinking and like just overwhelmed and frustrated. Now our thoughts are going, okay, I'm feeling more empowered. I'm feeling more
yes.
I have something I can move forward
And then
with.
you take action, and then you start making phone calls. Yes, doing
as those
things,
feelings feel
researching.
better, you take more action because people want to feel motivated to take action, but that's the opposite. You got to take action to feel motivated. So now you're taking action, and guess what? Now you're getting a result instead of sitting in your little pissy pants. And
I love it. Yes, you're hitting like so many golden nuggets here, and I'm just like learning and also re-solidifying what I already kind of, function from. So I want to thank you for these solid, like universal truths that will stand the test of time. So here's a great question, Brynn. Okay, so we're finally flipping it. We're using that alchemy, like everything is working for me, not against me. I can flip this and say, okay, people need money out there. That's a great time to go and prospect and reach out and show everybody what we're doing here so we can change their lives and we can be queens of the marketplace and help them release the, the quote unquote demonic strongholds off of their finances. So now here's the kicker. We have a new social marketer. She's happy. She's Miss like positive pants and she's all rah, rah, roo, roo. But her family, because this is a very big theme in social marketers' lives, there's some family members that are not so excited. They're always murmuring. They're always talking bad in their ear about these products and you're going to get scammed and all that negative energy. What is your advice for someone that wants to keep the household, kumbaya while she's trying to get a leg up in her business and kind of quiet down the criticism and the cynics and the people talking out of the side of their necks negative? What advice can you give to someone out there that maybe really wants to make this work and she knows she can do it, but she's getting a little backlash from some close loved ones? Any advice you can give to someone that's listening maybe and they need to hear this?
Yeah, think about this. And I say this to my kid all the time because I have a teenager, right? Why do bullies bully?
Hello.
Because they want a reaction out of you.
Yes.
And as long as they get a reaction out of you, they will continue to bully.
That's right.
The fastest way out of a bully bullying you is to not react to them. So it's the same thing with your family. And this is really hard. I'm a recovering people pleaser. I get it, especially when it comes to the people that I love the most. But one thing that I've learned over the years is you have to have boundaries.
Yes.
Have to have boundaries. So and as long as you continue to react to them and the fact that they don't believe in what you're doing, the more they're going to keep picking at it. And I don't want to say that they're bad people because they're probably not. They just don't understand, and that's okay. Right. So have your boundaries, don't react to them, and then go do you and prove it.
That's right. I love that. And that's a great success formula. And I have to agree with everything you said. It's almost like the art of war. I call it losing to win. When people say something to me and it could really get underneath my skin, I just say, you know what? You're right. And then they look at me like, oh, I can't pick a bone with her anymore. And I just walk away. And they're like, okay, it just totally probably like neutralizes them. But in the back of my head, I'm thinking, I'm winning this moment here. Bye, Toodles. Like, I'm too busy to get in this little web that you're weaving here because I know it's like tangoing with the devil and I'm going to be exhausted. So forget it. And I heard that like, oh, you're going to compete. This was over 20 years. What makes you think you can win? Oh, you're going to think you're going to be on a magazine cover. And like, that was like a whole string of people saying that. And especially now doing social marketing, people always have that cocked up eye. So I just love to prove them wrong. And I agree with what you're saying. Let's just silence the critics and the cynics and the negative Nancy's out there and the naysayers with our success. Okay. And that's the best way to silence the critics. And again, Rome wasn't built in a day. It will be built with consistency. That leads me to the next question. You have been doing this for years. You're a pro. You've gone pro. You're making it your full-time profession, and you are able to balance home and life and living your best life. Tell us about the pivotal moment or moments in your social marketing career where, you kind of got to the next side where, okay, now it clicked and now I have a great team around me. We're all in sync. We're in synergy. And how did you break through to reach that upper echelon of your profession and your success in your career?
Yeah, I think that one of the biggest lessons that I learned was that God does not elevate you to the next level until you learn the things that you need to learn on the level that you are currently sitting.
Hello.
And for a lot of years, I really struggled with negativity, with comparing myself to other people. In fact, in my first business, my sponsors didn't really take it seriously. They weren't really, they were in and out, right? Which is a lot of people, and that's fine. But I had so much jealousy, and I compared myself to them so much because here I was working my butt off every single day. And yet they were at the top rank and I wasn't, because of the work that I was doing. And so I let it eat me alive for so long.
Right.
And I realized that as long as I focused in on comparing myself to other people, as long as I watched other people's journey, and
right.
I try, and I put myself in the space of why not me? Like, I'm doing the things. Why am I not there? Was the exact reason why God wasn't taking me to the next level yet, because I hadn't learned how to get past those feelings yet. And so I always encourage people, like, I truly believe that we all start at suck. You really just have to suck until you suck less.
I love it. Yeah.
You constantly have to work on yourself. And when it's your time, you'll know why it took you so long to get there.
Oh, I love that. That is so big. And you know what? You as a leader and having a compassionate heart, a woman of compassion and integrity, a woman of excellence, and having cracked your own success code and using the law of attraction and visualization and manifesting, which I love, because it really is faith in motion. It really is painting the picture with your imagination of what can happen. And you're stepping out on faith, on blind faith, thinking, I'm going to make this happen. And you make a decision. And I think you need to decide. So, making a decision for me to even go to the next big Modir conference, which is actually in Long Beach, February the 16th and 17th, which you're going to be doing some big stages, big speeches there. And I cannot wait to see you rock the stage. I have to give a big shout out also to Meg Connolly. I'll be going there to see her, and also Dr. Sam. We have amazing women. Dr. Samantha Saget. She's fabulous. We all love each other. And, attending events seems to be important. And I know you're doing the John Melton this weekend, and I can't wait to see you there. I'm so excited. Why are these gatherings crucial to your success of being a not just a flash in the pan, but longevity? Okay. Building your empire, and every month, every quarter, every year, it grows, it compounds, compound interest. Why are these gatherings crucial in building skills, helping other entrepreneurs, mompreneurs, and also like reducing burnout? I'd love to know your take on it.
Yeah, you have to think about it this way. For most people, making a decision is not so hard, right? For example, pressing the button and joining a business, right?
Yeah.
Like, most of you either fell in love with the products, or you had a friend that was having success, or you really found yourself in a space of which most people join network marketing more so out of desperation. It's either desperation or inspiration. More times than not, it's desperation. That's where I was.
Right.
My friend told me to buy socks without checking his bank account, right? And
I love that story.
Yeah. So it was easy to make the decision because I was desperate. For some people, it's easy to make the decision because they're inspired by what somebody else has done. But what is not so easy is making the commitment, right?
Yes,
so
that's
those
right.
of you who are married, think about it. Over 50% of marriages end in divorce. And why is that? Because when people get divorced, in the back of their head, even if it's subconscious, they leave this little door open that if it doesn't work out, I'll just get divorced. And so people do the same thing when they come into a business, is they leave that little door open back there.
Yep.
and allow themselves to have an out. And so I'm just here to tell you, you're either all in, you're all out.
Thank
What
you.
in-person events do is they continually help you make the commitment to sticking and staying. It's very hard as entrepreneurs because we work from our home. We don't have a boss. We don't have somebody telling us when to show up, how to show up, like all the things, right? Like,
that's right.
It's our own business, and we are raised as employees. That's how we're raised in the society, is to go to work to get paid. You go to work, you get paid. But with network marketing, with entrepreneurism, it's work, 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 work. Then you get paid.
And work some more.
Right? Yeah. And
Ain't to faint, as John says. Yes.
It boils down. Work, 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 get paid. Work, work, get paid, right? It's a completely different mindset. And so in-person events helps you to continue to show up and commit, because let's be 100, it costs you money to go to these. My first in-person event, I made peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. I drove halfway across the country and I shared a room with 7 people. It made me who I am. And so if you want to be tough and you want to be committed and you want to grow a long-term business, don't tell me you're not going to the in-person event. Do whatever you got to do to get there.
Hallelujah. That's when I saw that you're coming on Friday and Saturday, right here in Fort Lauderdale. I was like, I'm getting tickets. I'm driving up. I'll be there. And then also to the event in Long Beach. It's like, I'm excited to get in that energy. You can hear like the crackle in the air. I love those events where everyone's just jacked up, jolted, excited, and they know where they're going. They're going to the top. And if we don't go with them, they're just going to wave down at us at the bottom, because there's a choice. You said decide. And this is another thing I learned. A lot of people come into this opportunity. Oh, it's $200. It's not a big investment. If it fizzles out, that's okay. That's the mindset. That's the self-sabotaging entrepreneur, career suicide that we go into. So get, all in, or just don't even bother, because I don't want to look back and have someone say, oh my goodness, it's been a whole decade and I still don't have anyone on my team. I still haven't really made a significant amount of a commission check. I knew it was a scam. No, it's because the only scam is you scamming yourself. You didn't show up. You didn't do the work. It's easy. And I'm just saying it as it is, like you say, keeping it 100. And sometimes we got to wake people up and they need to hear what they don't want to hear. And I want to honestly say, for whoever out there is listening to Brynn, who has done it, been doing it, still's going to do it. And she's doing it on the big stages. She's running with the big dogs that are making the big 6, 7, 8 figures a month. And she is here proving that you can do it and balance your home life without selling your soul to the industry. Take notes from this queen of the marketplace. You've gone from a mom with a dream to a globally recognized empire. Real quick, if you could say, a couple things that really just stood out. You're looking back at your career, like, that's helped me really get a leg up. That moment, that when they opened up that door for me, or when I had that click and I stopped playing small and I really added that one last thing to my to-do agenda every day in reaching out, following up. What was it that made that next kind of level, that 1%, to really click the matrix where everything opened up for you and success was consistent and only got bigger?
Yeah. So this is something that I teach often too, because most people only are aware one time a year, right? Hello, it's the beginning of the year.
That's
right.
So
what do people do at the end of the year and the beginning of the year? They look back over the year and they say, oh, well, I didn't do that. And I didn't get to this goal or that resolution, or I didn't stick with it, but this time I'm going to do it. Right. So I found that the most average people, the people who never get to where they want to go, they only do that one time a year. Right. So the mildly successful people do it one time a month. The very successful do it once a week, but the tippity top do it every day. And so a habit that I have created for myself that I've been doing for almost 10 years now is every day at the end of the day, I ask myself 3 questions and I journal it. What worked today? I start with that. I start with the positivity, because we want to keep our mindset in the right place. I don't want to bash myself first. I want to say, okay, I did good here. I showed up here. If it's health, I got my workout in, even if it was 15 minutes. If it was my business, I sent a message. I created a new conversation. I added one person to my list, right? Like that worked. Or maybe I sent this message and I got a good response. Okay, I'm going to note that because I'm going to use that message again. The next thing I ask myself is, what did not work today? And I do this in all areas of my life, with my marriage as well, with my parenting, because God knows that it's not easy, right? And so I go through, and if I had conversations that day, maybe I did a live video or a TikTok or a reel, or
Right.
maybe I
Right.
did a follow-up and I didn't get a good response. Like it didn't quite work out the way I wanted it to. I look at it and I go, okay, this is where it went wrong. And then the last
Mm-hmm.
question is the most important question. Where can I tweak tomorrow?
That's right. Oh,
So
I love that.
yes. So people ask me all the time. It only took me 7 years as an entrepreneur to start making 7 figures a year. And the
Yes.
reason was because I was very, very aware every single day. And every single day, I would take action the next day on
Yes.
the tweaks that I had made. And so you could ask me how to do anything, and I could tell you how to do it with my hands tied behind my back and a blindfold on. That works
Yeah.
for me because I've done this process over and over again. So if you want to get a leg up on everybody else, hello, separation season, become aware every
Ooh.
single day. So that way, every day you can take action the next day on those little tweaks that are going to make you better.
Oh, I love that. It is cutoff season and my cutoff game is on tight. And in the words of Janet Jackson, what have you done for us lately? Like, really? Okay. Hello. All right. I was raised
My
in the
new favorite
90s. I know
person.
that because people are so comfortable with us. Oh, I know her and over years, but no, what have you done for us lately? You got to either help us build. Are you helping me dig a ditch or build this empire? For real. Like, this is really where a lot of people have hit the saturation point. And I know you'll probably agree with this and brilliant points. A lot of times people have joined this social marketing because they know they're like us, ex people pleasers where we've been Miss Nicey all of our years, and we look in our back, we've got thousands of knives in our back. No one has helped us. No one has helped us grow or build. And we said, no more. I need to have some healthy boundaries. At least I know this business will help me from being Miss Nicey and pouring myself into relationships that don't pour back into me. I love this because it gives a structure. And listen, I got great products and I've got great coaching. Why don't you join us and we can build something together? And I know that these people, just like you're like covered from a different cosmic cloth. We want to help. We have this abundance mindset. Inner peace, outer abundance is no lack and scarcity. And I love that you said every day is like New Year's Day. Make every day an opportunity to grow, not just January. This is not a resolution. This is an evolution. So I just want to ask you this because I see you on social media, you're killing it. What advice would you offer to other women in social retail who are struggling to gain traction and they're actually considering giving up? Or they kind of emotionally left and they've already given up? They're still, oh, I'm on the product. They're like walking zombies. I still got my commission. I already got my subscription. And they're just not like doing anything. But they're kind of just like walking dead. They're kind of disillusioned in twilight. They don't know what to do. And we need to wake them up. Any words of advice? And maybe they just emotionally gave up and they're thinking of it. Anything to really reel them back in and get them back on their horse so they can ride off into the sunset and make it their retirement, I don't want to say career, but retirement hobby, if you will.
Yeah. What I find is most people, especially women, don't allow themselves to dream big.
Yes.
They don't allow themselves
Oh,
to dream big. They've been beaten down and they've been, just like telling themselves over and over and over again that they're not worthy or this comfortable life is okay. And granted, everybody wants different things, but I want
yeah.
to ask you today to dream big. Like when I
Yes.
have this conversation with people, when I ask people what they really truly want out of life, most people cannot answer that question
Wow.
because they don't
Hello.
allow themselves to dream that big because they don't believe that they can create it. So I want you to take
Mm,
everything away, any doubt that you can't create it, and just dream big for fun. For fun.
yes.
You could have everything you ever wanted. What would it be? Where would you live? Like, what would your marriage look like? Like, would you
Yes.
travel? What kind of money would you be making? Like, just don't take everything out of it that says that you can't and just dream big for fun, even if it's just for fun. And then
You're
just
speaking my language. That's
yeah,
what
just write
I'm
it
like
down.
always playing make believe, and guess what happens from that? And I know that you can relate to this. It actually comes into happen. It comes into fruition. Things on the vision board. So that I want to ask you now this, you being big into manifesting, how is manifesting and visualizing it and playing that make believe and just seeing it and touching the dream, going into the expensive lobbies of hotels. Maybe you can't afford a night there, but having a cup of coffee and just feeling the opulence and breaking these demonic strongholds of your mind into lack and scarcity of just going by and just sliding by and don't ask for too much and everything that's been beaten into us, how has manifesting played a significant role in your life to help you really become more successful and manifest even quicker and help you achieve your goals faster, to put it on like speed dial?
Yeah. So I will say I'm one of those people, I like to see things and have proof to be able to believe it. So the biggest thing with manifesting for most people is they're like, okay, yeah, law of attraction, you say it works, but I don't see how it's possible, right? If I just think and I change my feelings, like how is that actually going to create something, right?
That's right.
And so for me, my pivotal,
it's a word. It's a word. I like to blend words all the time. It is good. I never had respect for people that could spell the word the same way.
Yeah. I actually read a book by Joe Dispenza called Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. And what that did for me was it allowed me to see the science behind why the law of attraction is real and how manifesting is real. And when I could see the proof in front of me, that made all the difference for me to actually discipline myself to take the time to do it every day. Because one of the biggest excuses that I hear from people is I don't have enough time, right? I meditate every day for 10 to 15 minutes. That is not a long amount of time, but still 10 to 15 minutes. And my thoughts before were like, I got to sit there for 10 to 15 minutes and I got to think about these things. Like I got other stuff to do. How am I supposed to sit? But reading that book helped me realize that if I would discipline myself to take that time every single day to do it, that scientifically, I really could alter my future. And so I disciplined myself to do that, and ish started happening.
Thank you for showing us what is possible. See, as a fellow queen of manifesting like you, like a lot of women are in 3D, they get jealous. Oh, she's gonna have it all. Who does she think she is? Oh, she's got all these properties and all this money, and jealous. I like to surround myself with women like you. And I'm like, when I hear women manifesting big goals, big dreams, I'm like, thank you for showing us that it's possible. That's what we need to surround ourselves with. And I think another self-sabotaging behavior, a lot of women that are trying to get out of the crab shack with all the other crabs that are miserable, and we're like finally getting out, the one pulls us back. A lot of us are in this very delicate state of being pulled back into that. And I want to break that, where we get out to the other side and we're normalizing luxury, normalizing having more than enough money. Because it's odd when you're like, oh my God, can I afford, socks? Can I afford another pair of shoes now? And to feel those dire straits, we need to normalize having enough. I call it having that. Someone asked me, I want to just do it to make FU money. We need to have more than enough so we can give to our charities. We can actually have God use us more. We can help other people get out of poverty. Poverty is not a virtue. I was raised very religious, and it was almost like the more poor you were, the more closer to God you were. Hello, wake up call. No, it's not like God says give to the poor. If it was a virtue, it'd be like, no, take from the poor. Let's make them more poorer. Is that a word? But no, we have got to break that cycle. And I love that you said that. Dream big, make it a goal to manifest by meditating, going inside, and it is science based. And I want to ask you this, you've written a lot of materials, even your book, you talk about shifting from scarcity to abundance. I'm really into that. Do you think that this shift is what holds many women back from attracting success they deserved, including time and money? And I want to speak it right now. I know in my heart, and maybe you've seen other women that you coach, a lot of women are afraid of their own success. What if I start making more money than my husband? What if I get more in demand and my significant other starts to look at me like, you're changing, and you get that kind of cold energy? Why do you think women really need to break that bind of lack and scarcity, and how can we make that shift so they finally get out of their own way? And they already know they hit max in their career. They already know they can't live on what they're bringing in. They already know they're comfortably miserable, but they're almost like paralyzed. Anything you can do to wake them up, to get them to take action once and for all.
Yeah, I think that most of us have terrible money mindsets, just like you said, when it comes to the backgrounds that a lot of us grow up in. And, the thing that really, really has helped me over and over and over and over again is just realizing that money only makes you more of the person you already are. So if you're an asshole, then you're just going to be more of an asshole. But most of us are not. right?
That's right.
And
Yeah.
what really ended up helping me, and I have helped a lot of women realize is, okay, think about like where you want to give back. Like what's really important to
Yes.
you? Is it
Yep.
children? Is it the elderly? Like, is it building homes in other countries? Like, what is it that feeds your soul? Like, even if it's just being able to go to the grocery store and put $100 bills in the diaper boxes,
Ooh.
like what is it
Ooh.
that would like fill your soul? And I want you to think about it this way.
It's a good one.
We only have so much time. So
Yes.
what most people think of when they think of giving back is giving their time, going and building those houses, going on these mission trips, going and serving people at a soup kitchen, right? But you only have so much time.
Yeah.
Think about the massive amount of impact that you can have with more money.
Well, hello.
Like,
Yes,
so,
that's
so
beautiful.
attaching money to a greater good and realizing
Mhm.
that the more money that you have, the more good you can do. Like I remember, so back when I would first started this business, one of my best friends, her house burned down.
Oh,
And I
wow.
remember somebody that she didn't even know, who is a trainer in our industry, like she'd never talked to before. She randomly got a check for $5,000 from this person out of nowhere
That's
because they
beautiful.
could. And I remember seeing that and going, the day I can just send somebody a $5,000 check just to help them because I have it, that's the day that I have made it. And so that
Yes.
drove me. That
Yes.
drove me to be able to make more money so that I could then have that kind of impact. And so
Mm.
if you're sitting in a space where you think that maybe your spouse won't like it or your friends or your family won't like it, right? Think about
Mhm.
the good that's going to come from it.
That's right. That's right. That is so beautiful. Absolutely. You gave me chills upon chills upon chills. What a razor sharp, business savvy, mompreneur extraordinaire you are. I'm going to put the ball in your court now. If you have any questions you want to ask me as we wrap up, and then I'm going to do our giveaway and just I'm going to have everyone follow you on your social media and look out for you. So just fire away. I know this is kind of impromptu, but if you have a question for me, let it rip.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of dying to know how you got started in the network marketing
Woo!
industry.
Oh my goodness. I love that you asked that question. And I'll make it real quick, Reader's Digest version. And I think a lot of people can agree with what I'm saying. I was really adverse to like anything like this. I was really turned off. I was a hater. I was like, no, I'm not getting into that. And I tried some things in the past, but that was long ago. And I really started doing a lot of manifesting coaching. I started doing these monthly manifesting master classes. And as I was teaching, I was like, oh man, I got that block way back there. Let me remove it. So I
Uh,
started removing my own blocks that were hidden. And the more I taught and they always say, you being a teacher as well, you get to learn twice. You get to learn as you're giving the presentation and also seeing it in your students. So I was really getting this deep immersion of removing blocks. And then a really good friend of mine, Meg Connolly, who also does a lot of e-commerce and info marketing online. We love the online lifestyle, Wi-Fi millionaires. Shout out. We love not being all blocked up in a cubicle. So she was like, you know what, try this collagen. I'm like, no, I'm going to have my own powdered hot dog collagen in this big tub. I'm a fitness expert. I'm holier than thou, ego, right? And then I was thinking, this stuff isn't working. And I kept on hearing it in the back of my head. And honestly, you being a woman of faith, you won't think I'm a little cray cray. I heard God distinctly say, contact Meg back and get on that collagen. Looking back now, and I get chills as I say it, looking back now, I know it wasn't only just for the beauty benefits and the anti aging and the joint health and all the great benefits we get with our biohacking supplements. But I knew it was also a calling for me to be able to use this platform as an extension of my already successful coaching, but to make it more impactful because you agree, Brynn, your impact equals income. It wasn't like that I was hard up and I needed to pay the light bills. It was about God used me. Now I'm able to reach women that can't do my type of hardcore workouts that are over 300
yes.
pounds. They've lost 100 pounds. I got on the product. I'm losing weight. And now I'm making a little fun money on the side. Thank you for that. And I'm impacting lives. So I was able to help women on that front. Also, women that are like, you know what? I don't know how I'm going to pay rent. We might get evicted. I need another stream of residual, reliable, recurring income. So when God spoke to me and I was in the middle of a parking lot going into the ATM and I was in the middle of errands, I was like, God, really, right now? And it was like, right now. So I texted her, I was like, let me get on the product. So I got on the product secretly because I wanted to be my guinea pig. And I just take it and I kind of forgot about it. And then, like, 3 months later, people were asking me, Brynn, what are you doing? Did you do some Botox or filler? Did you get a facelift? Did you do what? You're getting leaner. Like, what? How can you even get leaner? Like, what's going on? And I really couldn't figure out what it was. I was exercising the same and I was working out the same, but I was like, it's these products. So
Yeah.
I knew from people that had known me for years and telling me that, what are you doing? And I knew the efficacy was there. I did the research. I fell in love with Asma Ishak being a woman, of being a female boss babe, badass that she is. And just, looking at the business comp plan, I said, wow, I can really help people age in reverse, get paid to look and feel better. Like, who gets that? And give them purpose in their life. You touched a lot about that interviewing you. You talked about how you found purpose in your life. You're not just making money. You have inner peace and balance, but outer abundance. That's the yin and the yang. So with this opportunity, that's how I got into it. So I was a little bit, no, I'm not going to do this. But then God said, no, you have to go and share. You were like, I know you'll like this quote. It's almost like we were that woman burning down in the house. We found the exit, but there's women still back in the house that's burning. So we're going back with water to help them. I
Yes.
feel like this opportunity is that. That's why I'm so passionate about it. We're not here hustling, sawdust in a jar. We're not here just to sell product because we like this, the way we look and sound on social media. No, there's a big spiritual mission here with this. And that's why I'm excited about it. And for you being a woman of faith, you being a woman of, seeing the miracle, you see miracles every day, people getting healthier, people getting wealthier. It's like the best of both worlds. I've seen people that are wealthy, not healthy. I've seen people that are healthy, especially in the fitness industry. Like you said, you're a trainer, broke.
Mhm.
A lot of pretty,
Broke.
beautiful people that are just broke. So this is where we get to combine it together. And so working with people, getting to connect with people like you is just so phenomenal. I want to give you a round of applause. Thank you for that great question. And I want to ask you, please, where can we follow you, your website and your Instagram handle, anything else you'd like to share in closing?
Yeah, I would love to connect with any of you that felt a connection with me. You can follow me on Instagram at BrynnLang1. You can head on over to my website, thebrynnlang.com. I've got several freebies. I love to email. So if you're actually an email opener, I email almost every single day because I love to write. You can also find me on Facebook as Brynn Lang. I'm kind of all over the place.
Woo!
I love to help and to serve others. So if I can serve you in any way, connect with me. I would love it.
Oh my goodness. Big round of applause for Brynn. Like, I want to thank you again for your time. Just, opening up to a complete stranger like me online. It really means a lot to me. So thank you so much. I'm going to be rewatching this podcast, and listen, everyone, take a page out of Brynn Lang's success playbook. She has done so much in such a little time, but I know there's much more to come from you. Thank you for your time today. And everyone that tuned in, sharing is caring. Get this out. And until next time, smile and be well. Thank you so much, Brynn. Love you guys.